Hi, and welcome back to Penguin's View. It's time for another retrospective review. Doing a few of these just at the moment, but there's reasoning. This time it's Stargate. Now, let me say, first of all, I watched the film, which I thought was okay. I've watched it 2 or 3 times since, and I still think it's okay. Not great, but not terrible either. Maybe a 6.7 out of 10. Certainly wouldn't bother doing a full review just of that movie. So, later I saw there was a series and thought to myself, well, I'll give it a go. It can't be any worse than the film. Hopefully it's better than the film. Okay, so the premise. It's that they use a ring thingy, known as the Stargate. Yes, thingy, that's a word. You say it's not, I'll ring the thingy out of you. So they use the Stargate to travel between Earth and other worlds. Fair enough. If you like, they're sort of like ancient explorers, discovering new lands and people and all that it entails. Each week, a different planet. Well, for the most part, anyway. But soon they encounter some alien baddies. The Gua'uld. Yeah, okay, we'll just call them baddies from now, because I'm sure I won't get the name completely right. But there we go. So, some weeks you would encounter new civilizations. Some weeks you would encounter the bad guys. And even some weeks where you would encounter both. Oh, lucky you. Yeah, actually not terrible. Although every now and again they would throw in some weeks that would be mainly based on Earth, where either politicians or military would complain about either the cost or lack of gaining new resources from these other worlds. Yeah, sounds about right. Not doing enough for me. I'm not doing any work, but you are, and you're not doing enough. Yeah, okay. I've heard of that before. So basically, unless you're watching a 2 or even a 3-parter, yeah, there's been some 3-parters, you know that you really don't know what you're going to be getting. It could be on Earth, it could be baddies, it could be other civilizations. Anyway, you follow the exploits of the team SG-1, which is Carter, Jackson, O'Neill, and Duke. You'll get to know anyway. And you follow them and as they navigate their way around things, often finding links to ancient Earth cultures. I thought it was quite an interesting thing along the storyline. Worked for me, that's for sure. Now, there's been 3 types of Stargate TV series. Stargate the original, Stargate Atlantis, and Stargate Universe. And the reason I'm doing the retrospective is because a new series has been given the green light, the go-ahead to be made. Now, let me state that the powers that be are assuring us this is not a reboot. I sort of think that's a bit of a shame. I think it could be rebooted. Then maybe they could get rid of all the dull bits. But sorry, did I say that? So, all as I hope with this new series is that it's much more like the original or Atlantis than Stargate Universe. for one reason, I'd like more than 2 seasons for a start. And I've watched Universe, but it wasn't a big deal for me. Anyway, into there. So now to rate the normal Stargate TV show. For me, it's a 7.3 out of 10. Some episodes definitely were better than others, and some were pretty dull, especially if they were Earth-based and people complaining about money. Yeah, I get enough of that at home. I don't need that on my TV show. Should you watch it? I think it's worth giving it a go. And then after you've watched the original series, watch Stargate Atlantis, because that was pretty good. As for Stargate Universe, maybe not so much. It's not terrible, it's just not great either. I think if they'd have made a third series, they could have made a bit more of it. But some parts were dragged out a lot, some parts were rushed, and it just didn't seem to work. Anyway, hopefully you found this informative, and until the next one, TTFN.